Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here on this Tuesday morning, July the 9th. We're glad to be here. We appreciate your viewership, especially the loyal viewership that you've displayed over all these years. We appreciate it. Take a look at our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. This is interesting now. Air temperature high today is 89. Water temperature at the end of the pier, 89. So you won't know whether they're in the water or in the air, temperature-wise. So you go jump in the water, but don't jump in deep water because of the sharks. All right, let's get started. I start telling shark stories or something. High today, 89, low 81, water temperature 89 in the pier. Take a look at our river readings brought to us by Panama City, Coca-Cola. Good folks down there. We're looking at Apalachicola, Bluntstown. How about a 3.1, steady 3.1. Choctaw at Carabelle, 3.8, got a little bit of a drop to it, and it's both rivers been in good shape for a couple of weeks now. Really, they've been right. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Like I said, today is the 9th, and we've got a good tide today. This coming weekend, not very good. Our high tide this morning at 7:05. Folks, that's good. And it's going out to about 6:34 this afternoon. So you've got a high tide right then, it starts going out. Going to be really good fishing this morning in some of those channels. Okay, our marine forecast southwest at about 15. That's coming, from a storm at southwest direction. We're getting may get a little bit of rain from it, a little bit of moisture anyway. So it's been interesting watching that one. It made landfall like 3 times. I mean, I thought for 3 days I thought it was going to hit somewhere. They said, well, it hit. And the next day, well, it hit. It's been interesting how it curved back. So anyway, let's get a break. We'll be right back with some good pictures. Okay, welcome back. We talk about the July 4th holidays and how everybody has a great time and the meaning it is for our country. It's always been very special to us and our family, and we've always celebrated in all kinds of ways. And each year at our gathering, Wendy will give me, her being a history teacher, and she'll give me some kind of a saying or somebody said or some part of the Constitution to read before I do the blessing. I'll give everybody a patriotic speech. I just love doing that. So anyway, I'm going to share with you what she gave me this year. 2 quick little quotes. This is from Ronald Reagan. Okay, listen, this is way back in 1987. One day, they will restrict your freedoms, restrict your history, restrict your safety, all in the name of professional victims that don't understand the consequences of their ignorance. And you stop and think about the situation today. And freedom is never, I've heard this off and on for years, is never more than 1 generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in our bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same. I just wanted to share those with you because it was real. I've got a lot of pictures we took that day, and I'm just going to quickly go through them and share them with you. I'm not trying to just... Anyway, here's the picture real quick. This is Mason, Wendy, and this is up under our house. We always do things under the house. This family picture sitting around. There's a crew right there. We just always have that hammock sitting up. We just had a grand time. A couple of Mason's friends from Ole Miss came. That's one of his girl friends, not girlfriends, but they were cheerleaders at Tupelo Christian, and they go to Ole Miss together. They're very close friends, and anyway, had a yard full of cars and trucks, and up in there we do the eating, and just had a grand time. That's our group. We had about 22 family and friends, and very thankful to be able to do that each July 4th. And I thank my nephew Matthew Chester for helping me cook. Here's a picture of Matthew. I got to show Matthew up there in Bristol. He always come down. I'm more of a supervisor now. So anyway, I had a couple more Wendy's family. So we always say a big blessing. That's when I do my patriotic talk. I think everybody's so hungry, but they want me to get through with it. Okay, so anyway, enough of that family stuff. I want to share with you July 4th is big. Now, I do have the Python challenge. Now, this is interesting. we talk about it every year, and it's like a 10-day season. I'm going to go through it. The FWC just sent it out right here. I sent it out last month or last week. Anyway, you got to get a toolkit. Look at that big old python. I didn't realize you had to have a toolkit. Now, and you have to do required online training, and it begins, okay, August the 9th, which is exactly 1 month from today, at 12:01 a.m., and ends, 11 days later. So it's in the Everglades, and the governor, there's a Burmese python, and it goes on all kinds, got to read the rules, and interesting. If any of y'all will go there, let me know. I want you to send me pictures and everything. I know if I had time, I was a little bit younger and dumber, I would do that myself. But it's a big deal now. You have check stations, you got to photograph it. I've read all the rules. And these are areas, I didn't realize that you got to check in. I don't know any of these areas, obviously, but it's all in the Everglades. They have check-in stations here. But well organized now, and there's online training you get. And I thought, this is a good photo op for the governor, and that's the FWC guys over there to the right, but that's a good photo. Okay, one quick one, speaking of photos, this is a rare photo of a remote control from the 70s. Son, get up there and change those channels. Y'all can identify with that. Okay, a couple of others. Well, before I get into that, speaking of fishing and all, not looking for snakes, but fishing, I get asked a lot about, are there any fishing clubs here? Are there any fly fishing clubs? I'd like to get together some folks. All throughout Panhandle, I get asked that. We've talked about it before. I know we have that group up in the Phoenix Springs, the Bent Rod Fishing Club with J.B. Hillard, and they meet there at the Senior Center once a month, and that's a great idea. We have, of course, the Ladies Fishing Club here, and also the group down there in Port St. Joe and Apalachicola, 2 lady groups. And so anyway, we had a fly fishing club at one time. I don't know if it sort of dissolved or what. So again, and I'll continue to remind you, if you have a fly fishing club or a fishing club and want to get started with it, share it with us. Come on the show and talk about it, because people really enjoy these kind of meetings. Meet once a month, every 2 months. And I know it goes back to historically, we used to have a speckled trout fishing club here in Bay County, and they'd meet at Old Coram's restaurant once a month, and you can imagine the stories they told. It was amazing, but there's some really good fishermen in that group, and they did share knowledge, and they always, you couldn't tell who was lying the most on the biggest fish they caught, but they laughed and laughed. I do remember them talking about it. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We always talk about the summertime and sharks all over the place and everything. We had unfortunately, we've had some attacks here in this area. So I'd like, once a month, I'd like to, go on a shark tracker. It's fascinating to me to watch these, with the pings and everything, how they track them. So I pulled it up during the break. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Here we have right here. Look, I was telling Jeff, look in the Gulf. I mean, it looks clear. I mean, check it out. I mean, we got one down here, way down here, off the banks of Campeche, which is where the old timers would go. And look at that one. That's not a great white. That's a hammerhead. That's BP Armstrong. And let's show his track. So BP started up here. I mean, look where he hangs around there. That's interesting to see. The hammerhead is so much different from the great white that travels all over the place. I mean, look at that one. He just hangs around one area. That's very interesting, because usually the sharks we're talking about are big old great white sharks. Anyway, so I found, I zoomed in a little bit. I found this single one right here, and I almost knew which one it was. I'm gonna punch on it. It's Crystal. We've talked about Crystal before. Now, Crystal is a great white, okay, and it's a juvenile. It's only 10 feet long, a little short one. It's a juvenile, but I want to show them a track of Crystal. Check this out. This is the funniest thing, because somehow Crystal went across the state. Now, how did Crystal do that? I'm serious. But anyway, I'm sure it pinged right there around Daytona Beach originally, and went around Miami, and then came back up here and pinged. Let's see when it pinged right here. That was actually in January the 12th. and then right now, that's anyway, Crystal is right here now. So anyway, that's Crystal. So okay, so enough about shark tracker. Just interesting things to do. I enjoy tracking them, and it amazes me when you get find something like a hammerhead stay in one area. So I'm the bull sharks and all we have out here. I think they basically stay in one area. I don't know if they go back and forth like the great white, but we need to get a shark expert on here. Okay, now we're talking about July being such a hot month, and once a month I like to do what to do this month, what to do, some outdoor activities to do. Well, July and August are the two toughest months for outdoorsmen not like me, because it's so hot out there. You don't want to get in the woods, and you don't want to be fishing in the middle of the day, so you sort of limited, your time is limited about what you can do. So I struggled with this last night, but I've came up with 10 things we can do. I put on my little doodle, this is my little handwriting, hope you can read it. So July to do in outdoors. Number 1, stay cool. That goes without saying. Okay. Number 2, I always fall back on this and sort tackle. Get in the garage, get your fan on, and get ready for your late summer fishing and early fall fishing. So sort tackle, we can always do that. Number 3, now seriously, this is something good to do this time of year. Excellent time to go. Go crabbing at night. And later on I'm going to show you some locations to go. Go crabbing at night. Number 4, flounder gigging. We'll talk about that all the time. And I'm starting to see some good pictures. They're small right now. I'm seeing a lot of small ones. Bowfish, and this is something, we're talking about bow fishing. We don't talk about a lot here. I had a buddy of mine, we both really enjoyed it, and we actually put in there at Ebro. We did most of our bow fishing around, put in at the bridge at Ebro, and go down a half a mile or so. There's some sloughs off to the left, and over the years, we've got some nice big gar in there. And we missed some nice ones too, but we'd go early in the morning. It was still cool, and then they would start floating up there as they warmed up, and man, there's some great shots. So bow fishing is fun. I don't like to do anything anymore unless we're going to eat it. So we never did eat the gar, so we quit doing it. But bow fishing is fun to do. Now, I put this one down. I know you don't want to think about this snake hunt. Now, but the reason I say that, because really now I'm talking about just going and looking for snakes, not going to try to capture them or anything. Well, let me tell you one of my favorite stories of all time about snake. Snake hunting. I had been maybe 3rd or 4th grade. I just wanted to go to the woods, and I just told Mom I'm going to the woods, and it was during the day. I went back there, way back in the woods, and went down the stream and all. It was during Christmas break, and I saw we have a little stream and all, and some hills on the side, wooded thick. I was in paradise. I didn't realize it, and I still had some cherry bombs. We still had some cherry bombs left over. I had a couple with me because I wanted to blow up a snake if I saw one. I'd never done that. So this is a true story. I wish I'd had this on video. By myself, I was gone a couple of hours, and I saw right on the hill, and I knew where the snake, I went to this area where I knew it had a lot of water moccasins. There's always water moccasins in this one area, sort of where the water came out the side of the hill, and it was real thick. And I saw one. It was in the leaves, and I lit it, and it was downhill from me, and I lit this. I wouldn't do this now. Strike. And finally got a cherry bomb lit, and threw it down there. And the timing on it was incredible, because it rolled right up to that snake, and the snake was coiled up, and it blew up. And when it did, part of the snake went up in the air, and that's like one of the most awesome things I'd ever seen in my life. It was like a perfect. That was my, little kid's mentality doing something like that. I wouldn't do it now, but when I say snake hunting, you still can do it when the time is right. So, but be aware, they're going to be in cool areas now. That's why I wrote it down. They're going to be in cool areas, and they're going to be in an area where they're going to really be protective of their area. So when you're looking for them, have your stick with you, and have your snake boots on, and take some great pictures. All right, number 7, run to the shooting range. Take some time to go to shooting range. Just shade it out there, and there's some good time to go to shooting range, especially early and late. Now, look, your game camera, you can move your game camera, and it's a good time to sit down and work on a pattern of your game camera, okay? And number 9, work on your food plots, plan your food plots. Some folks already have them going, some getting ready to do it. Get your land cleared, It's a good time of year. And number 10, plan your early fall, like when you're going to go dove shooting and when you're fishing. Okay, 3 things. Dove shoots, get those planned. You're going to take little fall fishing trips, and archery is going to be good this time of year as far as planning, and it's too hot to shoot in the afternoon all, but early in the morning again. So there are things to do in July. Now I just stretch it out a little bit, but on the snake looking, be sure you're careful about that. And if you're an outdoorsman, you know where they're going to be. They're going to be on the logs and different places like that. And you got to intentionally go looking. Most of the time when we're hunting and all, we're just looking around like this and don't see them. But you have to go snake hunting, get some pictures, and they're cool. Snakes are some cool creatures. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 8:44 to 10:44 this morning, and 9:12 to 11:12 tonight. And look how that fishing time coincides with that tide rushing out about that time. So good stuff there. It's really, I mean, you can fish about 10 or 11 o'clock. You can fish to it. I can until it gets too hot. A couple of quick notes here. Check this out. Woods and Water magazine has this little story here. I've just copied it for you. Georgia lady angler breaks 43-year Jack Crevalle record, and read up on it. This is Lauren Harden. She's only 21. She's from St. Mary's Island, and she caught it off Cumberland. Let's see. It's a good story because, listen, the lady she brought it, she was St. Mary's. It was 33 pounds. It was caught in May a couple weeks ago, and while fishing on Cumberland Island. The previous record was 30 pounds, set by another lady in 1981 off St. Simon's. So that's cool. Good stuff there. Now I want to show, speaking of, I get flashbacks every now and then. 11 years ago on my Facebook page, my buddy Chick Master said, "Thanks me." Now this is a picture I took. This is interesting. We need to talk about this. 90% of the scallops in St. Joe Bay are the size of the 2 on the right. The 2 on the far left are last season's. The middle one is big for this year's crop. Last sentence. If we could all wait a couple more weeks and let the peanuts grow, we would all enjoy a bumper crop of good sized ones. I know I will. Now, I took this, that's my quarter. I think I spent it by now, but you see really what was going on. This was 11 years ago, July the 7th. Right at and I was very instrumental. I'll take that back. There was a group of folks very instrumental in getting this message across to Tallahassee about these small scallops, and everybody was getting them. We talked about it before, and we had this little chart, had this little thing that Whitney helped us develop. If it falls through, you know what to do, and we were all very concerned about it. And look what happened. I mean, now. If we'd done this a long time ago, we could still be scalloping some in July, but now the season is pushed back to August the 16th, and most of the school has started back. So most of the kids don't really get to go scalloping unless they come down for the weekend, and we've got such a short period. But it was a necessary move the FWC made, and I'm thankful they made that. And even now it could be improved on, but right now in St. Joe Bay, the amount of pressure on it is unreal. So and when you go in August, you see those little ones, just leave them alone. But, I've had the opinion over recent years that, and late Scott Lynch and I talked about this, if you just wait till they spawn and then have the season, because they're going to die out then. But they're not really sure whether they're spawning October or November. So you really wouldn't know. But anyway, I just want to show that picture real quick with you. And, now, a couple more pictures real quick. Panama City fishing page. Bro, this is good. If you put a trolling motor on your kayak, then you have to get it registered, and it's a $500 fine if you don't get it registered for a trolling motor. So I did not really know that. But I'm going to skip these other pictures. I want to find this set right here. This, here it is right here. This is Katie Ward and Guy Martin Ward. They've been on the show before. Okay, this is when it first started. Seaworthy Bait, okay? They came on the show last year. They started Seaworthy Bait, all right? She posted the other day, and I had to read this twice. I can't stress this enough. If you have any open cuts or even a blister, think twice before going into the bay water. Guy is currently in the hospital with a flesh-eating bacteria. Started with 104.5 fever, and his body is trying to fight it. We've seen this before, and I'm not sure which body of water he was in, so I got a series of pictures. He stayed in hospital. He was still in hospital last I heard, but he was doing better, but that's really, really dangerous. So keep in mind, we'll talk about it a lot. If you have any kind of scratches or anything, make sure you take care of it. I got to show my buddy Marcus Parr real quick. Marcus is a good outdoorsman, one of my former students. I picked on some king mackerel today. Had to release a very nice red grouper. Check this out. Look at Marcus. But the best part of all, okay, he caught them and everything, and then how about when he cooked them up? He put 1 to 2 inches thick, daily onions and fresh red tomatoes with the steak. Don't that look good? That's how you cook it. Good job, Marcus Parr. Okay, I want to get back to the flesh-eating bacteria again. That Guy and Kaylee Ward, that's a situation we've talked about as a natural occurring phenomenon in our water system, but when it's so hot now and all the things that are in the water, it just seems to be more prevalent this time of year. So again, especially if you have folks coming down and swimming in the bay system, and a lot of folks swim in the bay system, that water will be carrying that bacteria. So be aware of that. The big thing, I was going to show you some crabbing locations. I'm going to run out of time, so we'll do that next show. But again, the biggest thing about, I keep thinking about a flesh-eating bacteria, how, I'm going to check on them today. I haven't heard, but we had a guest on last month that lost his leg in Choctawhatchee Bay. Exact same thing. And to see where the base, a lot of times he's out there getting the bait himself, and he get a little scratch, or sometimes you don't realize a little scratch. I mean, you saw the picture right there, that little scratch. You couldn't even see it on there, and boom, it just spread so fast. So just be aware of that and let folks know, especially this time of year. Okay, run out of time. We've got some guests coming up next couple of days. Some really good guests coming up this week. I've been planning them a month out to get them in town and everything. So it's going to be something good. Y'all have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the outdoors. Take care of the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.